boy was so lucky. He had just left the house and found $10 in the snow. He looked around to see if anyone had spotted him. He turned around and went into a shop. He bought his favorite chocolate, but when he opened the package, there was $1 million golden ticket inside. The man next to him was dumbstruck.
I'll buy it from you. I'll give you $50. And a new bicycle.
The owner was also dumbfounded. He had no idea that the last golden ticket was in his own shop. Then a woman said she could pay a high price for the ticket. At this point, the boss said to the boy, "Go home and don't give it to anyone." The boy's name was Charlie and his family was very poor. There were 7 people living in a small, ramshackle house, 4 old people in one bed. The bed also served as a dining table. Charlie's parents only bought him a chocolate every year for his birthday. He slowly tore open the wrapping, but the luck didn't come. Just as Charlie was getting disappointed, he found a banknote on the road, and that's when the scene began. This golden ticket, he was issued by the world's largest chocolate factory, Wonka. There are only 5 golden tickets in the world. A chocolate factory of this size, and not a single worker has ever been seen. And the chocolates are still coming in. This time, Wonka has created 5 golden tickets. The winners will not only get a tour of the chocolate factory, they will also have the chance to win a mystery prize. As soon as the news broke, children all over the world went crazy for the chocolates. The first winner was a rich girl. To make his daughter happy, he bought all the local Wonka chocolates. He had his staff work around the clock for 4 days and 3 nights to open them. The golden ticket was finally found. The second winner was a chubby eater. He kept on eating chocolate every day. Even the golden ticket was almost eaten by him. The third winner was a teenager with a very high IQ who, based on the time of delivery of the chocolates, the Pythagorean theorem and the changing weather, he accurately calculated the location of the chocolates. And the fifth winner was even better. Little girl won the sparring championship at the age of 10, and she's been chewing gum. She has been chewing it for 3 months and set a new Guinness World Record. Don't look at her at the age of 10. She has won more trophies than she can fit in her house, and this time she won a golden ticket. She and 4 other children went on a tour of the world's largest chocolate factory. The day of the tour soon arrived. The 5 children, accompanied by their families, walked in slowly. A man in a strange outfit came into view. He was the founder of the chocolate factory, Wonka. The moment Wonka opened the door, everyone was stunned. It was a colorful world. Everything in this world was made of chocolate, even the river and the waterfall. And the chocolate was made by a bunch of little people. While Wonka was introducing them to everyone, the greedy little fatty has already started to eat, but he accidentally fell into the river of chocolate, and the river transported him through the tunnel and out. And so Chubby was disqualified from the race. Then the rest of the children followed Wonka on the boat. The dragon boat bobbed and weaved its way through the chocolate river. Finally, they came to the door of a laboratory. Wonka said that all the chocolate flavors were being developed in the factory, and he introduced the new products. A candy that doesn't get any smaller when you eat it. A gum that you can eat and never eat again. And the chocolate milk candy that grows hair. Annie said I was the Guinness record holder for gum chewing. She ate the new gum in defiance. The next thing she knew, Annie had a mutation and ended up as a giant blueberry. Wonka, of course, eliminated her too. Then Wonka took the rest of the group to the nut lab. Inside, a group of squirrels were working. They're trained to listen to the sound and tell the difference between good and bad nuts. And the nuts they peeled were big and whole. When the rich girl wanted a little squirrel, so she rushes over to the lab. Despite all advice, she wanted to take one home today. Just as she was about to pick up one of the squirrels, all the squirrels jumped at her. Squirrel lay on top of the girl, then tapped her on the head, then stuck his ear out and listened. He diagnosed it as a bad fruit. So the squirrel swarmed and threw the girl into the bottomless bin. And so she was disqualified. Then Wonka took the only remaining Charlie and the genius, a transparent lift. This lift not only moves up and down, it could also move sideways and diagonally. At this point Wonka also told the crowd about his childhood. He'd had his mouth locked in an orthodontic device since he was a child, because his father was a dentist. He could count all the sweets he ate on one hand, and the sweets he had hidden away were thrown into the fireplace by his father. One day he found a chocolate in the oven, and it was this one bite. He remembered the taste forever. From then on he had a dream, to build the biggest chocolate factory in the world, but his father was strongly against it. So Wonka ran away from home in a fit of rage. When he grew up, he did build a chocolate factory, and it became the place where children from all over the world wanted to be. By this time Wonka had led them to a TV room. Then they lifted the giant chocolates onto a transport pod, and then the chocolate was transported to the TV. Charlie took it out as soon as he could. He opened the package and ate it. The little genius was getting a bit anxious, so he decided to jump into the pod and find out what was going on. There was a bright light. He was transported to a TV set. He was transformed into a minifigure, and that's how Charlie became the final winner. They rode together in a glass lift. The next minute it led to Charlie's house. house. Wonka also announced the winner's prize, and that was to inherit his chocolate factory. At this point Charlie suggested that Wonka should go home to see his father. So Wonka mustered up the courage to go home. The walls of the house were covered in news about Wonka. It turns out that his father has been watching over him all along. The two of them finally made up, and Charlie inherits the chocolate factory. He and his family lived happily ever after. The important thing is that there will be an endless supply of chocolate.